Okay, here with the Company War, the Maziani are getting a string of bad luck. They again lost the initiative, and in fact, it stayed entirely the same as it has been the last couple turns. They only, I don't remember how much, they only moved a couple of ships. The couple out of Paradise, one over here to Voyager, another one down here to Fargon to drop off a garrison unit. And decent sized roll of 5 for the Union. They pushed a fairly large force. That's not all carriers. They actually, I think, threw a cruiser in there as well to take out that garrison. Now we got to go with the merchants, but these low risk attacks, they needed a 6 to be able to split and hit both, aren't getting them the advantage they need. They need to be able to hit either the main fleet, wipe it out, and get the big points off that. But that fleet's bigger than they are, than they can deliver. If they brought 5 carriers in, well, they're facing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 main carriers. Now, they're going to get points for picking off that carrier, and that'll help level the damage that they're taking each turn. But at 6 to 1, 2, 3, 4, they're losing 2 points a turn. They can't afford this. I'm not sure what that's going to mean. So now everybody's giving the merchants free passage, and they're passing by each other. They don't feel like they're in competition with each other. Although they're tied, they're in last place and probably shouldn't be shooting each other, even though there could be an advantage to taking someone out. It does make things more difficult. They start blocking each other and slowing each other's traffic down. The one combat's here, started it out. The merchant is staying out of it. You could say, well, the Union kind of expected the Unionist merchant to be helping him here. Yeah, he doesn't want to tip his hand here. He's not. That's his argument. Look, if I commit myself here, I'll be stopped from making deliveries. Maybe over here. I don't want to do that. I think you're in fine shape. I don't think this is a situation where you need my help. You've got overwhelming force. You just have to catch him. And it's like, well, okay, but your firepower, especially from the in-systemers, would help. No, not going to help. The Maziani ship trying to break through took some hits. It looks bad for them. There's a good chance they're going to get killed. Even if they turn around one... I'm not... They haven't suffered 2 rounds of fire, so I'm not giving them that they can escape anyway in any direction. So they've got to kind of shoot around through here. I think they're in a lot of trouble. Okay, well, I've been playing a little wrong, and this affected everything. I think it probably increased the Union points overall. Decided to change it. Esperance is supposed to be a Earth Company station, which means the Union doesn't get points for preventing a garrison, and I wouldn't have put a garrison there because it's not as valuable. All kinds of stuff there. I'm just going to start playing it right for the last couple turns. Anyway, point-wise, we can see Maziani are keeping their lead on the Union, but man, freeing up those merchants puts them right up there. I don't know if they have enough to catch what the Maziani can make. They certainly want to shoot the Maziani if they can, but we're moving into this last turn. The carrier and a garrison died. That was worth a total of 5 points, 4 for the carrier. For the Union player, I think I said 3 for carriers. That's what Union carriers are worth. We got one last chance to sort of shoot this out and see if anything can change. I think the Union's lost this game, even though I've been, I think, kind of cheating in their favor with Esperance. But that means now they've got a fleet located here, not really doing any good. They want to get them out of there. All right. Well, this final turn's turning out to be kind of anticlimactic. First of all, order of play. The Maziani are going first again. Another bad luck for them. But we had a switch where the Union merchants get to go last. So they get kind of that last go advantage, which is kind of cool because they're pretty far back. They need to make up some ground and need all their options in front of them. They can kind of calculate, can I win? You know, how far can I get? Here's the problem. Maziani rolled 1 movement point. They get 1 ship they can move. That's it. That's the way the strategic movement works here, right? You roll a die and see how many of your ships you get to move. There's no bonus to it. It's just a number. Oh, sorry. It's +1. Okay. So I could move 2 ships. There's nowhere I can insert the Maziani with 2 ships. Assuming this were still there, but even given that it's not. Here and here and here are all well defended. I'm not going to get that 3-point bonus. I could send a carrier off somewhere to get me 1 more point garrisoning one of the Earth planets. That doesn't seem wise. But then, on the Union side, they got a grand total of 2. Now with that +1, 3 ships. So they will be able to knock this out. And that's the important factor. We'll just slide 3 ships over there. That will perhaps, I think almost definitely, prevent a Maziani victory and probably hand it over to the Earth merchants. We'll see. I'll play out the merchants. But when I had the 2, I thought I can't even take out a damn garrison. I think I've been playing all along wrong. I don't always bother to read the rules when I think I know something. I skimmed them. I looked for the points that I needed. That one didn't stick. It's a better game the more ships you get to move. But I really do like that rolling a die to see how many you move as a game mechanic, as well as it kind of represents something similar to the ops in a CDG type game. Alright, onward. So with the merchants, we're going to see this massive interdictions everywhere. And there's just battles everywhere for this. And in a way, this is the victory conditions, but they can't slip through each other because they can deny. So, this guy had to go from Viking to Mariner. He could have made it, but nah, blue ship stopped him. And now they're going to fight. And more the blue ships have basically all piled into where the yellow ships are in the hopes of capturing something that may be worth something. Where that's just the case and there's nothing being delivered, I'm going to skip the battles because it's really not important. Over here, there's some importance because there's a question. Nobody's going to stop the Union. Nobody's going to shoot at the Union, but the Union will start shooting at the Earth merchant here to try to interdict that transport. Well, it's possible a Union ship could get destroyed, which could hand the victory to the Maziani. That's about the only way I think the Maziani are going to win here, unless, of course, all the merchant deliveries fail for the Earth merchant fail. Let's see. It's turned into kind of a tedious battle with the carrier trying to insert itself and block this. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least we're close enough we'll be able to get in there. And, well, he got to move first. So this is the last round. There's been like 3 firing rounds. No damage done to that merchant at all yet. Many of these spaces are being skipped. Either there's no battle, or the battle's not important like there and there. Nobody had anything to deliver, so I just don't want to do it. But right now we're seeing the Earth points skyrocketing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if the Maziani got both their garrisons, and they've already lost one. The way I'm handling the end of turn stuff, they don't have a chance. So it's pretty much over here. I've just got to resolve this battle. Whatever it's worth, it's I don't know. It's a chance to shoot up some of these merchants. Try to get better placement. The Union's going to be in last place, I think, if they're not careful. So they even want to shoot up the Union merchants. So now we score the points. Maziani get 3 points for their garrison. So they're going to beat the Union, but they're not going to win the game. The merchants have the victory here. The poor Earth merchants failed to deliver anything of value. I kind of skewed things by putting like the Earth merchants, allowing them to jettison their cargo. You're allowed to show people stuff though, so you can say, look, this ship doesn't have anything you want on it. So I guess it's not that big a deal. But I shouldn't have been jettisoning cargo from other ships that might have been landing, just as a slight effect. Doesn't really matter because the Earth merchant was the only one hurt by this, I think. So now let's see. What does the Union get? 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, putting them in close range. But we've got a victory over for the merchants. And that's one of the things that I noticed with the game. The merchants have the advantage unless the players crack down on them. But it's really, really tough to, especially as the Maziani, to crack down on the merchants. As the Union, you can do it, but you can see they gave that extra edge to the Maziani that you don't want them to have. I think that's sort of a natural affinity thing. Here, you know, it was, no matter what, the military probably aren't going to concentrate too hard on the merchants anyhow. Even on this last turn, they concentrated all out against all the merchants, and they still didn't really prevent the Earth player from gaining significant points. So I don't think that you can come to this kind of agreement that the game almost naturally fosters with the merchants and expect to win as one of the military powers. The merchants can cut the deal or not. If they don't cut the deal, I think they're going to be hindering each other's merchantability enough that they won't win. So eventually they do have to kind of come to a, look, let's not screw with each other. Let's deal, and that's why the 3-player game is probably just as good because there's only one merchant in it. Whether or not the merchants add something significantly interesting to the game, I think they kind of do. And I think this actually ends up making a nice 3-player game because you have to have that. The Maziani need the merchants. They really need them. The Union, not so much. The Union can see the merchants as a source of potential points. You want to trade? I want payment. I want a victory point, you know, every turn or something like that. Eventually it'll break down. Eventually there'll be a fight. But it does provide an interesting dynamic. The most interesting I've seen with this game, though, is 2-player. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot of game. I'll get to that in the review, though.